Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood. Here we go.
We land. The deal is done.
Out in the street, they call it murder.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now it's your boy King back in the building. Today I'm there for giving a comprehensive breakdown of the series of unfortunate events that has led Mason Greenwood to coming to represent for the Jamaica national reggae boys football team. People, them say one man trash is another man treasure. So guess what? Mason Greenwood will show him so we are welcome with open arms, and we're going to take a look at the timeline, we're going to take a look at the breakdown of what has happened to lead a generational talent coming to play for the Jamaica national reggae boys football team. Before we jump into it, people, remember to smash that like button. Do remember to leave a comment down in the comment section. Wanna subscribe? Come on, do the right thing. Now, Greenwood joined Manchester United at the age of 6, progressing through the academy where he joined the under-18 squad despite being eligible to play for the under-16, finishing top scorer of that year's U18 Premier League North. In March of 2019, under the management of Ole Gunnar, we saw where Greenwood made his competitive debut as an 87-minute sub in a 3-1 win against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. At the age of 17 years and 156 days, Greenwood became the second youngest player to represent the club in a European competition and the youngest ever in the Champions League era. 4 days later, we saw where Greenwood made his Premier League debut from the bench in a 2-0 defeat to Arsenal, also to become one of the club's youngest ever league debutants. Greenwood didn't score assists in his first season, but he went on to score 17 goals and 3 assists in his second season as a Manchester United player. This form would eventually lead him to become a full-time England international, coming on to make his debut in a UEFA Nations League A game versus Iceland, coming on in the 78th minute in a game where England would go on to win 1-0. But people in that very game, another generational baller made their debut in that game. Step forward, Phil Foden. See, Phil Foden also made his debut that very game. Ironically, after their debut game, Phil Foden and Mason Greenwood were withdrawn from the England squad after breaking COVID-19 guidelines in Iceland by leaving the part of the hotel that was occupied by the squad. Media reports allege that the players had went to meet some women, and this was the beginning of the series of the fortunately unfortunate series of events which has led Mason Greenwood to come and play for the Jamaica national reggae boys. Now, after their suspension in September 2020, the very next squad in October 2020 of that year, both were omitted from the squad. So it was very surprising in November when Phil Foden was drafted in the squad, but Mason Greenwood was not. And judging by the article on screen and going on to listen to the press conference done by Gareth Southgate.
Two obvious headlines, Gareth. Phil Foden back in, Mason Greenwood not back in. Yep. Why the difference?
Well, they don't come as a pair. They're individual players with their own strengths and individual talents. Looking at the balance of the squad positionally, firstly, Phil has had quite a lot of football with his club most recently, and Mason has had less game time with United. I've had a good chat with Ollie about his development, and I feel it's better for him to stay with the club at the moment and to develop over the next few months. But they were both available. There's no sort of carryover from what happened in September. That's done. Both available for selection, and both are going to be very good players.
It was a little bit shady indeed. To which we then saw where Mason Greenwood was listed injured for the Manchester United game before that international break and after that international break. Very spooky indeed. Now, Mason would go on to score 12 goals and 5 assists that season, and that was the very same season where he changed from number 26 to number 11, which is a very famous number in Manchester United that was also worn by their great Ryan Giggs. Mason was touted all throughout the media as being a generational talent.
Which young player in world football do you rate the highest?
Young footballer
Yeah.
in the world. Oof. Mason Greenwood has got the coolness and coldness of a great striker. He never panics. His shots are always low, and I think that's shown great qualities.
Mason Greenwood's strength lies with his finishing. He's a super composed finisher and his strength lies with the ability to finish off both feet. Mason was oftentimes compared to former Arsenal, Manchester United and Dutch legend Robin van Persie. Ironically, this comparison comes from having the same elegant shooting style as Van Persie with that sweet left foot. Even though it's quite clear that he is now ambipedal. Yes people, ambipedal is the word of the day. I had to look for this word to describe the fact that he is comfortable using both feet. On January 30th, 2022, Mason Greenwood was suspended by Manchester United after he was arrested and charged for the now infamous incident that is the main reason why Greenwood is still eligible to play for the Jamaica national football team. And let me just say this people, I don't condone violence. The only time violence should be used is in self-defense. And let me just say this people, I don't condone violence. The only time violence should be used is in self-defense. But the incident at hand, we see where the victim has forgiven the accuser. We see where the victim is still with the accuser. We see where the victim has a baby with the accuser. So who is me?
She ain't got a problem with it. I ain't got a problem with it. I'm sure, yeah.
I'd only like to look forward and move forward with myself, my family, my daughter, my partner and the whole club, and just to focus on the football and focus on the off-field work with my family.
This man's career was torn apart. He didn't play any football from January 2022, and even though the charges were dropped in February 2023, he didn't play any football at all until the start of the 2023-2024 season, where he went on loan with Getafe. Greenwood would go on to score 10 goals and have 6 assists for Getafe, which would still prove that there is a player in there. Now the 2024-2025 season saw where Manchester United sold Greenwood to Marseille. From 2 matches he scored 3 goals. Now you see that this is the very same generational talent, Mason Greenwood, and at 22-year-old he can do great things. I know to see where JFF made formal communication to the Football Association with a request to transfer Greenwood registration where he can now come and play for the Jamaica National Reggae Boys football team. And no disrespect, Greenwood would be the biggest baller to come and play for the Jamaica National Football team. I must say big up to man like Walter Boy, big up to Anandelo, big up to man like Ricardo, Bibi Gardner, Pepe Goodison, Tapa Whitmore. But Mason Greenwood is a generational talent. So people have to give thanks to the series of unfortunate events which has made Mason Greenwood still eligible to come and play for the Jamaica National Football team. Them say everything happened for a reason, and one man trash is another man treasure. So Mason Greenwood, welcome with open arms, my brother. Come play some ball for the Jamaica National team. Big up yourself. Walk good until next time. I'm out.